Hello, everybody, and welcome. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. Welcome. This is Marcel Amores, and today is what is was supposed to be my first episode. My journey from Havana to Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I currently live. Have started my podcast now. It's been on. I think I'm going on week fourth, and yeah, I think it's time to let you guys know a little bit about myself, where I come from, and why I'm doing the podcast, and why I think it is important to do this, and initial outcomes that I am thinking to go with this. It's fun anyways, and it's an incredible learning journey. So, without further introduction details, my name is Marcel Amores. I'm originally from Havana, Cuba. I grew up, I was born and raised in there. And I make my move here to Halifax, Nova Scotia about a decade now. And music is what brought me here, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there in a little bit. I just wanted to let you know that yeah, it's been a great journey, and I started with this idea of creating a podcast at the beginning of the pandemic. I was aiming to do it in the basement of where I live, but yeah, it was too damp, and I was bothering the neighbor like downstairs, and yeah, so after a little bit of ongoing thoughts and putting the equipment together, I just started, and one thing that I think affects me and affects a lot of people is that when we're starting something new, we're just thinking too much about all the little details that comes with when you have to set something up. I mean, start something new, and some people like me, in this case, get caught up in the details, and you want to do everything perfect, and you just have to start doing it, right? We're constantly in a learning curve, and and the only way to know how to improve and how to get better is by doing it. So I said, after talking to some really good friends that have been encouraged me and say, I just gotta start, and and yeah, and here I am. My background, well, I music was always part of my life. I'm now a musician for the last 15, close to 20 years, I'd say. Um, Especially growing up in a very cultural musical island of in Cuba, and having different influences from my parents and my neighborhood. I grew up obviously with the staples of different genres of Cuban music, as well as with North American and British music. That's my parents' influence. I guess they were kind of hippies in the 70s. And yeah, it's a great variety of things. People often think that in Cuba, you only hear salsa music or son, or Afro-Cuban music, which is an incredible um, like backbone of our culture. But yeah, there's a lot of I mean, obviously, like in, great input and influences in jazz music, incredible jazz musicians, and also as well as musicians that play rock music, like the classics, um, everything. They're very famous also in well, known for also for sports and the coffee and tobacco and the rum. But yeah, culture is definitely like a hardcore in Cuba. And when it comes to arts, music, and dance, we're really devoted to that. However, my journey to music started a little different. I hold a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and while I was doing my undergrad at the University of Havana, I just started meeting with friends that had this really different interest in Celtic music and the Celtic cultures. Um, and I started hanging out with them, and they had kind of like a show once a month where they will bring like a band that will do Celtic music or New Age music, and they will tell stories about druids or about the different fights between the different Celtic tribes, some of the traditions, and I was really drawn by that. Also, a big influencer in my life in that aspect was my dad, 'cause we have a little bit of both Spanish and Irish background, and yeah, exactly. The Spanish people and the Irish, they're all over the world. And Cuba is like a great melting pot, as I'm quoting my friend Cotazo Moquena, which I interviewed last Saturday. It's a great melting pot. And so people from Spain, from Ireland, Europe, different countries from the United States, they came to Cuba in uh, different different stages in our history, but there was a lot of heavy influences in the early 20th century. So yeah, so I learned about the Celtic music, I think, more in depth when I was in my first my fresh years of university. And then I learned that there was with a girl that I was dating at the time, I learned there was like a bagpipe course starting in Old Havana. I said, what? And because I had a little bit of a brief idea of what bagpipes were. These were like Spanish bagpipes, which they're played in northern Spain, the regions of Galicia, Asturias, and also in Catalonia, Aragon, and a bit south on the region of Castilla y Leon. And Valencia. So bagpipes they're really interesting, unique on its own instrument. But up here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, most people know about the Scottish bagpipes and the Irish pipes and small pipes. They're really, really incredible, beautiful instruments. However, it goes way, it expands beyond that. Every single country in Europe has at least one kind of pipes. They have also the most ancient ones. They mention they are from the old Mesopotamia. There are bagpipes in northern Africa and the Middle East, and Western Asia. So it's a really uh, diverse instrument. So the ones they play in northern Spain, I started with the Asturian bagpipes, which are higher in pitch compared to the Highland pipes, but they're different fingering and different timbre, different tone. Yeah, so I I started that journey, and then started like with some pipes and guitars, playing a little bit of guitar. And back in 2008, we were able to come here to Nova Scotia. There was five Cuban pipers. We performed at Celtic Colors, one of the biggest international Celtic festival in North America, and it was a great journey. Would you imagine that? Like here, just landing in Halifax Airport, being taken into Cape Breton Island, everybody was really friendly and nice. And yeah, we were just playing bagpipes at the core of the piping and fiddle world. So it was definitely a lot of fun. And back and forth, I returned here, promoting music exchange that started happening after I connected with some musicians and music agents, and we put together like a festival down in Havana. So we brought some amazing musicians from here, from Nova Scotia, from Ireland, from Spain, and Scotland. So it was a great journey. That was back in 2010 and 2011. We did it in Havana, at the downtown old Havana. The local officials and institutions were really keen in collaborating and making all that happen. And yeah, we had a great experience that way. I actually wanted to share with you a small clip of what it was like, an outdoor parade, an event, back in I believe that was 2010. Check this out. Yeah, so that was amazing. That was done at that's Plaza de San Francisco Asís in downtown old Havana, and this group was the pipe band of Artística Gallega with their Galician folk dance group. This is part of the heritage of the Spanish heritage in Cuba. Um, Many like thousands and thousands of Galician and Asturian people came to Cuba in the early 20th century, so they brought their traditions as well. So we share that parallel side of the cultural aspect with up here with Eastern Canada, but you know, in as we are called sometimes, the Celtic friends. The Celtic cousins. We are most of our influence is predominantly Spanish. So yeah, the bagpipes you were listening in the recording were like Galician bagpipes. They're a really nice instrument, very well known, mostly in Europe, a little bit in North America. Uh, that end up to be the instrument that the bagpipes that I have played the most. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It was great, and I'd like to mention all the again that this was like a international almost collaboration where people were involved here in Canada and in Ireland, in Spain. The embassies collaborated as well as main agents and the Cuban cultural institution. So it was it was great to do. It was a big dream with a lot of effort, like come through, and with a lot of opportunities for learning. Anyway, as I've been since I started, I've been bringing up local musicians and artists that also have some sort of connection with science and business. So I plan to continue to do this. The purpose of this podcast is kind of to connect, learn, inspire, and share the wealth of knowledge, and have more people connected in our community. It's been like really difficult times through the whole pandemic, and obviously the music industry has been really affected, as well as, you know, many many other industry. Myself, I started business with my partner like about 4 years ago. We went into this journey to do to make authentic Cuban food, and it was fun. It was a really nice way to connect and offer like a little bit of the Spanish heritage here. That went, you know, it went okay as we moved the first 3 years. Now then the pandemic hit, and you know, we're currently really slow. But yeah, traditional Cuban food is really healthy, made with all like healthy foods, except when people cook with a lot of fat, but not so much the case at times in Cuba, or at least not with the choice of food that I decided to do. And I didn't go to fish formal training in to be a chef, or anything. Just I learned down the road, and definitely my grandmother was a huge influence to make that happen, as it happens with everybody. You know, the greatness of the flavors of grandma's food. Anyway, I wanted to also share another really fun video where I want you to see that happened again. The same, I think it was, yeah, the first Celtic festival that we did in Cuba back in 2010. But something really interesting happened, and it happened after the after we finished with the workshops and the live concerts, and we were just hanging out in down Obispo Street. And so we stopped at the bar La Dichosa, and we met there with Los Cinco del Son, with with our Irish friends and musicians, and check out what happened. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. I was playing the Galician pipes, just basically jamming along with what they were doing. So it's pretty yeah, pretty amazing memories there. In the video, you can see there some Irish musicians. There's Liam O'Malley there. Hi, buddy, wherever you are. Probably right now in Ireland. And the Beglis family. There's also Flavia Chamorro, a pianist from South America, Chile. And even my mom is dancing in the video. Hi, mom. So yeah, this was a wonderful journey, and as you can see, Cuban people are very warm and very happy. Even though we do struggle a lot with the economic and um, situation there. There's always more in our spirit to share and give more and laugh about our problems and just make it better, right? So it's important to have like that escape of music and art as a really good way of improving ourselves and yeah, just being out there. That's one of the reasons people are the Cuban people are very appraised. Our resilience and our willingness to fight and to move forward and to have fun and enjoy good friendship, good family, and good food. So yeah, again, I want to thank all the people that made all of that happen, including the main liaisons that were involved with in Canada and Ireland, Killian Kennedy and Lisa Butchert. It was those times were great, lots of work, lots of crazy hours, and a great experience. Of course, all the people that played a good role with the Spanish societies and the office of the historian Eugenio Chavez, and the currently deceased Eusebio Leal. They're really good people that put toward a lot of effort to develop the cultural aspect of Cuba, which is important, and it's a kind of like a drive to move on. Yeah, so great memories. I wanted to also thank all the people that have encouraged me to start this project. I will continue now, hopefully adding more days to the live stream. It's still in the learning phase. I wanted to share with you some uh, brief brief remarks of the things that I have been learning through the past years. I have lots of interest in science, and I've been currently doing research in health sciences, like applied to the music interventions in health, and that's an ongoing project that I'm conducting now with a professor at Dow at the House University in Halifax. So the fact that I'm interviewing lots of great musicians that have a great input, either spiritual or scientific. It's a great amazing journey. So thank you all of you, and hope you can continue to join me in this new adventure. Right now, yeah, one of the things I wanted to quickly share in some of the readings I've been doing. People think that uh, sometimes that you have to be focused on only one thing. It's important to keep the level of focus, but really that art of multitasking really don't work quite well with us. People say that you could do two, three jobs at the same time, multitasking, and especially people going on their phones, switching back and forth. The mind really doesn't work like that. It's more like we switch from one task to the other. So, productively speaking, to do highly intellectual, engaged task is not a like try to do at the same time. It's not recommendable, because we end up like kind of getting really tired, and that's the way it works. It's better just to put little bits of productivity time towards one designated task at the time, and try not to do as much. Eliminate all the distractions, and yeah, those one of the books that I've been reading. listening actually through audiobooks. It's called the Power of Habits. I strongly recommend it because he talks about, James Clear is the author, and he talks a lot about the developing new systems and creating new habits, and how to not how to eliminate the old habits and replace them with the good ones. And it has to do all with habit formation and enhancing productivity and feeling better, because there has to be a balance as well. So yeah, in my briefly my journey here to Canada, after I moved in here, I did a few pipe gigs, and I joined a couple of Cuban bands through some Cuban musicians and Mexican musicians that I met, here. That was back in 2012, 13. I went through a couple of projects, and currently I have my own band called Marcel Amores and Plan H. And we're kind of slow now, stopped because of the pandemic. But I want to say hi to all my buddies, all the members of the band, Chris Churchill, Lázaro Castanedo, Felipe Valera, all the people that have been part of our project. Also, another drummer, Glenn Frazen, Chava Kanyasi, Chris Cookson. So it's been an amazing journey with all of you guys, and so we'll hope to continue to do this when the pandemic gets under control. So I do there mostly influence. The music is influenced by Cuban contemporary and traditional music, and I try to spice up a little bit of the Celtic instruments, sometimes the pipes, sometimes the whistles, and it's been an amazing journey. We have been lucky to perform at different festivals across the province, as well as the bigger festivals, the Jazz Festival here in Halifax, as well as Cape Breton Festival. That was back in 2019, a really good year we had. And it is an amazing journey, and especially music has been therapeutic and medicinal to me. When people come from different countries, and we face the different values of this new society, and we kind of clash into that contradiction. So a lot of crazy things happening. So a lot of like ups and downs. So to me, music has been like the best medicine, and I'm very happy to continue to do music, and also more so to relate it to science with the current research I am doing. So I wanted to say bye for today, leaving you guys with a nice clip from our performance at the Halifax Jazz Festival in 2019. The giant that you're going to see, they're going to watch now playing the saxophone, is a incredible Cuban monster musician, Carlos Mora. Big high five to you, amigo. And yes, in the video is also Dilshan, which I interviewed like a couple of weeks ago, and Chava was playing with us there, Chris Cookson and Lázaro, and Chris Churchill on bass. Chris, I look forward to have you sometime here in the program, man. Thank you for being here with us today. I will continue to bring amazing artists. Hopefully, we'll continue to expand. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm only learning. It's a learning curve. But as I said at the beginning of the program, I had to, in order to get it going, I had to start. Don't get whatever you're doing. Don't get caught up in the details. Just gather enough information to make it like fairly well, and then just start going. And I will improve as it goes. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'm just going to leave you with a clip of our performance in the Halifax Halifax Jazz Festival of 2019. Thank you very much, and see you soon. eyes.